This is a lowland area along the creek on the place, on the south side of the place, and recently I planted a lot of American chestnut and tulip poplar and black cherry over here. For the most part, most of them did pretty good. All of the tulip poplar leafed out, and we've had a few of the American chestnuts that look pretty withered, but I think they weren't getting enough sun. But this one here, it looks pretty good. I found several of them on this side. Those that are in the sun more so, that are really leafed out well. I just mulched them this morning and pulled some of the weeds back in hopes that we'll keep enough moisture in the ground that they would survive the summer. We lost a lot of them last summer when we planted them. We planted some with the kids out here that the American Chestnut Foundation donated. And some of them weren't planted deep enough, and they were containerized, and so the soil was exposed. And when it got real hot in July and August, a lot of them really dried out and didn't make it. So we're hoping that these do better. These were bare root, and we planted them early on in the season. Actually planted them probably back in December. The ones that we planted last year, we planted last March. So these have had some time to establish a good root system, and we're hoping that they do a lot better. Tulip poplar. This is a shagbark hickory. Planted this last year also. Thought it died. It lost all of its leaves last year. But when I was out here replanting last fall, I scraped the bark and actually saw that it was still green. So glad to see that it leafed out again. I remulched it. I think this one is growing a root system down because when we had this one shipped from up north, this is apparently a northern breed of a shagbark hickory. So they're probably having a little bit of trouble adapting to the southern heat. I planted another one just this past fall over on the other side of the creek, and that thing is really leafed out. Just over a foot of new growth on top, and several new limbs sprouted out on it, and there's leaves everywhere. And it's just healthy and growing vigorously. Hopefully this one will pick up the pace. Remulched it, weeded around it, so we're hoping that it does a little bit better this year. But it survived that summer drought last year, so we're hoping that it really could establish itself and take off. Another American chestnut. Seem to be doing pretty well. Down on the creek, down in the creek, I planted some cypress, some ball cypress. Planted that one last year. It's doing all right. But I planted 3 more that we got from the Forest Service, 3 or 4 more down further along the creek, where the canopy opens up a little bit more, and they're really leafing out. Not gonna make the trip down in there. It's kind of thick, and it's hot. So I'm about to go get out of this stuff, these waders, and take a break.